As we were discussing, 5D mystics easily and pretty much automatically unconditionally love. This is because a 5D mystic has a whole 3-year-old heart, so that implicit memory is all giggly and fun. When we are accessing our clairs, we have an emotional body that we self-regulate because we have a relationship with our emotional body, because we are in a securely attached adult. So we move through our charged states and process them and just process emotions with the left and right mode of your brain, of our brain. And that's why a 5D body type is what I call it, does not depersonalize or derealize or dissociate in the way that a 4D mystic does. So when we are experiencing channeling, downloads, or anything related to the land of mysticism, we are not disconnected from being in 2023, from being a person, from what is going on. We stay grounded in our body and in the now. And that's because of having restorative embodied self and integration of the brain. So we're using our left and right mode, all hands on deck. That default mode network is downregulated and our ventral vagal nervous system is engaged, our social engagement nervous system. So all people have this. It's our mammalian heritage, which is why when you hear Sadhguru say human nature is love, or Stephen Porges with the polyvagal theory, how love can only be experienced if you are in a physiological ventral vagal nervous system engaged body, because that's when your oxytocin gene hormone is released, because your body is in its safety. So when we begin life, that's the reason why it's not about devils or demons or evil. It's about nervous system and emotional body regulation and the embodied brain. Obviously, if there's brain structure situation, that's another story. But simplifying it, when we get held, and when we get hugged, when we get touched, it activates our ventral vagal nervous system, because mammalian heritage essentially is we can sit safely. And in fact, there's this posture that I've taught people before, because I learned it from one of my courses, but you put your arm here, and that's a hug, and you can activate your own ventral vagal nervous system, which is a really good practice. But there's also contemplating. So if you're going to contemplate and ruminate, even if you've activated your ventral vagal state, you're not going to actually work with your window of tolerance for those who don't have a relationship with their emotional body. For those of us who have a relationship with our emotional body, we have a window of welcome. We're not tolerating our emotions. We don't feel that it is uncomfortable to feel. We feel very comfortable with feeling. Those who instead have an emotional body disconnect, they feel like they're going to explode. Like I just recently saw this lovely doctor, therapist, psychologist, there's plenty of them out there, good ones, who are trying to spread the word of why people suppress, numb down. And here's where drugs, alcohol, sex, and food, binge watching, binge anything, procrastinating, anything that doesn't add to your energetic value, but also if it becomes compulsive. So it's not the substances or the activities, it's you knowing about your relationship to those. And if you are in any way, shape, or form considering yourself intellectually savvy, then you would notice a pattern. You would notice that if I'm always doing this, but my energy levels don't go up, meaning I don't feel more vital and more alive, there's something off. Going within creates a level of terror within me. There's something off. Because of movies that are crappy, I'm going to speak it out, but also because of people and their stereotypes. Devil, evil, temptation, this entire way of speaking about human being behavior and humanity overall. This service is what it's called. So 5D mystics and anyone as a 5D educator will and is already trying their best to say, okay, how about we disengage from the past ancient folk and be in the present and learn about your human body. Yes, yoga, it's helpful. You know why? It puts into practice your ventral vagal nervous system, because that's what those exercises do. They've found it. The mental health professionals, like, they know why mindfulness helps your brain. Okay, so people who are caring about themselves, they will have found that out too. But if they're not aware of themselves, even if they've found it out, we might see mantles. A lot of people, oh, I want to make personal development easy. I've seen recent sales pitches. Make personal development easy. Make it into a hobby. It's like, okay, that's a cheap way. In Italian, we have a saying, no saving is ever something that's going to enrich you. Il risparmio non è guadagno. Something like that. And it's a smart business owner, I've met many of them, will all know there's no shortcuts. The only people who think there are shortcuts are the same ones who don't realize I'm being desperate. Of course, okay, I need to do something, but to believe in the shortcut, I fell for a shortcut once, meaning I was desperate enough to fall for something, and that was my one moment of shame. It's a plaque, I got it, and I'll never forget it because I'm like, Maria, are you stupid? You've known your entire life. I was only in my late 20s or early 30s, but yeah, that's why entire life. We use these words. I remember when I've met kids that are like saying that, I'm like, you only live like 13 years, right? Or 15. So long story short, 43. It's not that many if you think about it, but long story short, back to us. Funny stories. Securely attached people versus those who are not securely attached. Securely attached people can go within, tap into their emotions, not have to deal with it, not do compulsive stuff. Be aware of compulsivity, easily disengage from it, so we don't actually feel helpless, hopeless, or bitter, or cynic, or any of that towards life or people. Okay, so the 5D person is here. That's oneness consciousness. 5D mystic may have always been here or has moved into here by doing good personal development, good trauma therapy, good whatever it is that got you to start having a relationship with your emotional body. Every person knows their story. And on that note, our oversoul does not diminish, it expands. So while 4D has decided to stick to the plane of duality, and that's because of the way they experience the channeling, the downloads, the entirety of the 4D plane believes in a lot of different stories, from esotericism, metaphysics, from using clairs a certain way to just coming together in certain ways. And I know plenty of 4D people. We're all friends. We have fun talking about archangels. We have fun about Halloween. We have fun with candles and lighting them and doing prayer. We have fun with Reiki. We have fun with meditating. We have fun intending and supporting humanity. In the meantime, we also know we're not welcome by some people. We understand that. I understand that. I'm a person who uses my brain. I will never be offended, meaning it won't be personal when people like, oh, you're a demon. No, I'm not, but I get it because I know of the stories. Okay, so 4D, unfortunately, doesn't move into let me look at my inner child and become the adult version of me. Let me seek out a good trauma therapist because I have some post-traumatic stress potential disorder. I have some trauma memory lingering. So they don't look into how their brain works. They don't believe the sciences somehow, some way. Don't ask me because they're all intellectually smart. But then again, we do have flat earthers. And on that note, that's the part. We're going to see what we want to see. When a person is not ready to see their self, their adaptive child is protecting themselves, the teenager, from seeing the 3-year-old, because the shame, heartbreak, defectiveness is that emotional body. It's terror. It's terror to go in there. I don't know this feeling, but I've been described it enough to where it's self-loathing, it's torture, it's very sad. And so if we can support people to know that they're welcome, here's my 5D mystics, those of you who are functional adults as well, any person who has achieved their wholeness, our 3-year-old, that's where we get to be the securely attached people that people know we're safe havens and secure bases. We'll help you launch. And we'll tell you about your projection and be like, no, that's not cool. But it's because you're on a journey with good therapists, good knowledge, you're ready to become your adult and you're ready to be compassionate towards yourself. That's the number one pink flag. If you cannot have compassion towards yourself, you're not ready to meet your inner child. And if you can't have compassion towards humanity, you have not met your inner child. If, on the other hand, you unconditionally love all, then you've met your inner child and we're here to work together to create love and wholeness. Tune on in for more. Have a great day.